For this month's video, I thought I might do something a little bit different. This is a very interesting time of year for those of us who are working in accounting and financial planning. Our years certainly work more attuned to financial year rather than calendar year. And this is a good time of year for us to be taking stock about what's been going on over the last 12 months. And it's a good time for us to reflect back about all of the events that have happened recently. So let's look back at what was happening in our business and in other areas at the 30th of June in 2018. Most of our clients had experienced significant gains over the 2018 financial year. Markets had been particularly strong and things were going along quite nicely. But there were a few clouds on the horizon. At that point of time in our office here, Jen, our long-term assistant, had let us know that she was pregnant and was going to be leaving us towards the end of the year, and we were waiting that happy event with a level of anticipation. We were also having a think about how our business was going in general. We'd experienced a great deal of growth, particularly in the accounting area, so things were chugging along quite nicely for us. So then we come to the end of the first quarter of 2018-19. Towards the end of September, things started to turn a little bit more gloomy. So markets did rise quite strongly through to the beginning of September or so. And then Mr. Trump in the US decided that it was a good idea to have a trade war with China. Markets reacted quite badly, and for the next 3 or 4 months or so, the markets went down by something like 10 to 15%. It was quite a turbulent time. Also impacting on markets at the time was the fact that the Brexit thing, in terms of the UK leaving the EU, was working itself out, though even as I speak at this time it hasn't worked itself out in the end. So we're coming up towards the end of the year and we're having quite a tough time in terms of investment markets. And in particular, we were starting to be a little bit concerned because we'd be reporting to our clients as at the end of December and things were looking pretty grim. It should be said that the markets bottomed out around about the 20th or 21st of December and things were looking really, really bad. About this time, Jen said farewell as we celebrated Christmas with some of our clients, and she's left us now to go on an extended period of maternity leave, and we're unsure whether she'll be coming back or not. She's certainly going to enjoy being a full-time mum for a little while. So we move into the 2019 year and things are starting to look a bit better. Markets have recovered quite strongly through January and February. For us, this is a time of meetings and more meetings. We've had the great deal of pleasure of meeting with our clients over a long period of time, seeing lots and lots of them during the periods through February, March and April. And this is the time when we get together closely with our clients to have a look at what's going on in their financial affairs and have a look at their portfolios and other things which might be affecting them. It's quite an exciting time in the office. Happens at that time of year every year. So we come to the end of the third quarter of the financial year and things are starting to look pretty good on investment markets as well. The market has rebounded quite strongly in January and February and continues to do so through to the end of March and into the Easter period. And things really start to get strong as we move into the fourth quarter of the financial year. In fact, as I'm recording this, we're only about 100 points off all-time highs as far as the ASX is concerned. We also had an election in the fourth quarter of the financial year, as you'd all be aware. And we were actually anticipating this might trigger a very, very busy time for us as we tried to get our clients well positioned to take advantage of all the changes which were occurring had Labor won the election. But to our surprise and to the surprise of many of the commentators and also of many of our clients, in fact, the Liberals won the election, so many of the policies which had already been announced remained in place and there weren't wholesale changes to things like capital gains tax and superannuation. We had thought that we'd probably be trying to get as much contribution into the superannuation environment during this last month of the financial year as was possible because the rules were going to change, and we were also concerned that we were going to be needing to position ourselves around capital gains tax because the rules were going to change there too. But thankfully they didn't. So things have been a little quieter than we've anticipated. One of the things that we've been working on in our office over the last little while is a potential move of our office premises. We've probably had one too many clients have some trouble finding some parking when they come to see us, and we've been wondering what we might be able to do to improve that situation for them. So on the 1st of July we'll be moving. You'll find some details about that move attached to this newsletter, and also a little video which we've shot which will show you the new premises and how to get there. So we're really looking forward to welcoming you into that new environment. We're quite excited about it all. So there we are. There's a little snapshot of what's been going on in our business and also in markets, and also what we've been doing with our clients over the last 12 months. What's going to happen in the next 12 months? Well, I don't really know. I have this little device which I look at from time to time, but in there it really doesn't tell me anything about the future. Sadly, I really can't tell what's going to happen in the next 12 months, but I do know that we'll be here to look after you and support you no matter what those are. I do expect a little bit of turbulence over the next little while in terms of markets, as the trade war with the US and China works itself out, and as also Brexit gets itself sorted. But no doubt we'll be talking again soon, and I'll give you a further update in terms of markets as we send out our reports to you in July. Thanks for listening, and talk to you again soon.